Hey guys, this is Rachel Feldman. I'm extremely excited to be here with a good friend, an amazing coach, a mama who is rocking her business, Megan Rand. And what we're going to talk about today are the Done For You programs and why they are really unique, what coaches have done with them. And Megan's going to share her experience so that you can see, is this program right for you? What has Megan done with it? So you see it as an example, and so it helps you to make the choice that you need for your business. So excited to be here with you.
Thank you for having me, Rachel.
So as we were talking before we started recording, tell me actually how you found the Done For You programs.
I found the Done For You programs. I was in a group of about 20 women in San Diego. We were all IIN, Institute of Integrative Nutrition coaches going through the program together. And we would meet up once a month, and one of the women in there had found you. And she was running these programs kind of on the side. This is at the 6-month point, just starting, when you can kind of just start coaching. And it was fascinating to me because I was going to focus more on hormonal health, but this was a big piece that wasn't really taught much as far as how to naturally detox, how to do it in a safe way. That was a little bit missing, I felt, from my training, both that and I did the FDN program. So that she was showing me, this is pretty easy, and this is how I use it, and this is how it helps people understand what I do one-on-one. So I saw it through her.
I love that you brought up 2 points. One is that this is the program that I started my one-on-one because, and so many people think programs and they think, I have to do this online. And the foundation of my business, why I created the detox, was for myself because I saw a myriad of all these different health issues. And I thought, if I just start them at the basics, a really simple, like, get off processed junk, but also teach somebody how to move that lymphatic system naturally, how to eat seasonally, like the very basic teachings of people like Paul Pitchford that have been around forever, or John Douillard, or Liz Lipsky, and I love the second part that you talked about, which is a safe and effective detox. And I say that because this doesn't take somebody into like level 2. This is about really, showing how easy eating clean can be. So can you kind of share your experience on why you think this is not your detox to be scared about?
Yeah. So I think I'll have a lot of women come to me and they're thinking, if I'm not having insane detox symptoms and things aren't going crazy and I'm getting rashes and die-off and all these, then it couldn't be possibly working. And we want to remind them to step back, because if you're pushing your body that hard, you're having that many symptoms, then it's too fast for your body. You should be naturally detoxifying at a rate that you can keep up with and you can handle. So I think when you go to what your programs are based on whole foods, real foods, and the elixirs I've found to be so powerful, because I will have many, many people come to us from the paleo world, and they're looking at it and they're like, there's really not that much I'm going to change. So maybe I'm not going to have nuts, or, there's just not that much. Maybe I'll pull out eggs and nuts for a week. And they're looking at me like, what else? Like, this isn't going to do it. And 4 or 5 days in, they're just doing the morning, afternoon elixir, and they're adding in the detox tools, maybe dry skin brush, tongue scraper, and they're saying, I can't even believe, either one, how amazing I feel, or two, basically the opposite, where their body, just from whole foods and elixir and water, lemon, like, is going through a major detox process. And we didn't have to go the route of any crazy, scary pills or fasting or things that are just much more extreme. And most of the people, I feel like they can get 80% of the way just based on like food and these basic things alone. So it's just a really cool starting point that's not scary. And then it has the added benefit of finding their food sensitivities. So they jump in because they're thinking detox. That sounds like something it's kind of a fad or sounds like something I should do. And really in the background, we're like, like we're getting you to really test the foods and see what works for your body. And it is amazing to me, Rachel, how many people have said to me, these are 40, 50-year-old women said, I have never once been told to eat something and then listen to how I feel.
Yeah.
That concept has just
I love that you brought up that point, because when my first allergy test was when I was 18 years old, and it showed food I had never even eaten, and I was like, wow, how can I be allergic to quinoa? There were a lot of other grains, beans. Fast forward to different tests. I remember this homeopath who I worked with. He was phenomenal. He was a doctor and a homeopath, and he said, look, I love those tests, but you also really need to listen to your body, because there will be foods that you don't metabolize, or there will be foods that never come up and show on a test, but when you eat them, you're like, you know what, I don't feel great. My energy dipped. I had poor sleep. I feel like there's swelling in my fingers. All these things that we don't recognize, or that our emotions have completely changed after food, and we're like quick and irritated or sad. And I love that you bring that up, because that's really putting the power back in our clients' hands and saying, I'm here to guide you, but you're going to learn this, and this is going to be with you for a lifetime as your hormones change, as the seasons change, as you change, throughout life. So I think that's a really epic point.
And as a coach, I think it's really easy to get overwhelmed where to start with something, because kind of the more you know and the more you learn, you're looking at this person and you're saying, oh, you look like have major hormone problems, your adrenals are shot, liver toxicity, like you could just see, oh, your gut's probably destroyed from what you're saying, and that becomes just this overwhelm of, where do I even start with them? Yeah. And I think we often forget to go back to the basics, because we're thinking, well, I know they have this autoimmune thing, and autoimmunity, you do this. But really, a lot of these people just even drinking more water because they're having so many elixirs, or, just trying herbal teas that they've never had. Just is amazing results. And then because of that, people are ready and willing, and they've seen how I work, they've seen how I interact in the groups, and then they're ready and willing to work one-on-one.
You brought up a point that I want to even go back to, which is at that 6-month point in school. And we're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to coach. And we're so excited. And I remember that time very distinctly. And I was like I said, people were coming to me with a myriad of health issues, and a mirror always of our own health issues or what's happening in our life. So I didn't attract just like, hey, tell me about goji berries. I attracted that person that did have a lot of systems breaking down. And I remember, trying to find recipes online and trying to just, empower, give education. Not even say, do this, just give education. So somebody would say, well, I'm not celiac. I'm like, we're not saying you are. But let's go without gluten. Let's try, not consuming as much fruit. All different just strategies. And so in the beginning, I felt, even though I was confident in myself, I felt like I didn't have what I needed to have a system in my one-on-one business, and then also have a group option for the person who couldn't afford to work with me one-on-one. And I see that you have done that so eloquently, and also were able to jumpstart your business at a time when most people don't even know where to start. So can you kind of take us back to that and where your business has evolved, so the coach knows, okay, this was at 6 months, here, where are we now?
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of started that so again, I also did the FDM program, so I do use functional lab work, and I do look at hormones, and we do look at gut testing, but we have to start with all the basics first. And for a while, I was jumping all in. I was doing 4-month one-on-one programs. That was kind of the only format I had other than the detox. It was do the detox and then jump into 4 months. And I even found that kind of commitment for a lot of people, they weren't quite there, or they weren't quite there financially. So we took that format and now have 3 different groups that they can flow through. We start everybody with the detox. I want everybody, I don't even care if you've been paleo for 20 years. Like, I want you to at least, consider some other things and consider the tools. And consider removing coffee, for example, for a little while and seeing how that goes for you and your hormones. And so after that, most of the time they're like, okay, I get it. I actually really do need a lot of hormonal support. They can kind of tell they were maybe run down, or a lot of the signs, there were just different signs from the things they tried, like apple cider vinegar really didn't agree with them. And they're going, okay, maybe we need to look into gut health. So from there, we have them go into, it's our 3-month healthy hormones group. So that's an online group program. And that's where we actually do some testing too. So this was a really exciting test because we couldn't really find an online program where we also got to do a little bit of functional lab work, so we combined it. So they get to look at a hormone panel and a neurotransmitter panel, and then the one customized part of it is us looking at that and helping them supplement-wise and lifestyle-wise. But the rest is just going through all the basic lifestyle factors. And then from there, if they still need support, we have like this monthly membership called ZestyU, where they can then go further if someone needs gut testing, if they need heavy metals, if they need to dig much deeper, whatever is going on. But we like to have people go back to the beginning because they want to jump into that really exciting, like, they heard a podcast on some specific topic, like MTHFR, genetic mutation, and they just want to jump to that. We're like, all right, come back here a little bit. Like,
let's get the basics first before we talk about methylation.
Let's get you, start with the lemon water. Start with clean whole foods. And so it's been really fun switching that up because now we get to work with a lot more women. It's at a better price point for them. So I think a lot of this is hard to jump into if you're new to it, because it's all out of pocket, and it seems like, why couldn't I do this with a doctor? Like, why do I have to work with you? Why do I kind of have to work in this functional approach? And this kind of slowly leads them through the process with groups.
Well, and I think the nice part about it is I've had acupuncturists, I've had homeopaths, colon therapists, FDN graduates, coaches, RD. I mean, I think about everyone, and they all add in their own special component that makes them different. Some hormones, some specialize in emotional, toxicity, some specialize in mindset. Some doctors add in their own protocol that they're using with their team of nutritionists at their facility. So for me, when I created these, I wanted that to be able to have, I wanted a coach or anybody to have that option, because at the end of the day, we can put a program up, but if we don't really sit there and say, what is this about that makes me different? So even if it's a detox, I always say to people, think about really your ideal client. And you came to the table knowing this was hormones. And so you took that and you were able to integrate that and also create tiers in your business, which I know for you being a mom and for me, we need those tiers because we can't all day see one-on-one clients. We need to bring them into kind of a funnel of, where can you start with me? If you need more support, where can you go? And then here's another opportunity as well, in addition to just our one-on-one business.
And that's a good reminder with the mom thing, Rachel, is that I just had, I had a baby last Christmas, a little over a year ago, and my business didn't stop. I didn't work. I took 4 months off strictly, but everything was set up. Everything was set in place. It was done for me. I mean, I just wait for your next one to come out. I'm like, okay, because I'm not going to come up with these recipes. I have my process now. Yeah. I have it down. It is streamlined. This is how it works. This is what we do. And I had them all, I had the funnel set up for the 4 months while I was off, and then it just led into the group program for when I was back on, and we even have, we have an assistant working with us now who can manage everything going on and who can post all the daily posts in the Facebook groups that I've created. So it's just been an amazing resource to know that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. There's really that's not my specialty. Recipes aren't my specialty. That's not what I want to focus on. I need this as a tool because people need it. My clients need it. They get results, but you don't have to do everything. take what's done for you, and just it makes everything go so much faster and smoother.
And and even to just bring back, I love that you brought up this point about in the beginning, I started with this. I always say to coaches, even if you were to buy VIP or every program, it's like, sit back and just say, what needs to be in my one-on-one? What is my starting place for a client? Where do I want to take them? You know, because it's so easy to get overwhelmed. I love that you took us through the process for your business, because it's real easy to look at something and go, I'm never going to be able to do this. But you can. You just have to start in one place and then think about what is the best for them. What's the best for them? What is the best for you? How much time do you have with a family and all of this, or a 9-to-5 job? But it is doable. And I know because I've seen you grow in your business, and I think it's epic. I've looked at your website many times. So if you could say to one coach, like, why should they buy a Done For You program, what would it be?
I would say, I think what a lot of coaches do is they hide behind creation. So they're afraid to put something out there, and they take a lot of time to create the perfect program. And in that, it's really just, they're just waiting, they're just hesitating, they're just scared to put themselves out there. So I think once you have this Done For You program and you're like, oh shoot, it's done for me, there's no excuse. Like, I just need to add my touch, make it mine, and then really jump into it. That for me, just seeing other coaches in your group, Rachel, and I remember in my first one, I see this girl talking about her 100 people in her group. I'm like, 100 people? That's crazy. And then now I get that, now that's totally doable. But at the time, just getting 5 was amazing. So I think it's just a matter of literally launching it, doing it, knowing it's not going to go perfectly, figuring out what went well, what didn't go well, and then doing it again. And then keep doing it again, even if nobody buys. Plenty of free people in the first round then they can give me a testimonial. I mean, just continually learning from that. It's not a failure. Your business isn't horrible. It's just each time you figure out how to tweak it a little bit better, but just literally keep doing it. Like, keep sending it out there, and people they'll get to know you and wait for your stuff.
That's great advice, because I always say launching is like the first child, where you've read every book, but you don't really know what to do until you have that baby and you're taking care of that baby. And then second one comes around, you're like, I get it. I know what I need to do, but second child is completely different than child one. But you wouldn't quit even though you have the, how am I going to do this? You just have to know, I just have to keep showing up, and I have to do it. And I have to be a great mom. And I think it's that as a health coach. And I love that you said hiding behind content creation or a website, or it's not ready, it's not done, because we all have that internal, it's just fear talking. We have that internal fear. And so I'm extremely happy that you shared that. I also want to let coaches or anybody who needs your services or wants to check out what you have done, to be able to find your website. So can you tell us where we can find you?
Yes, absolutely. So my new website, I have a business partner who's also an MD, is the Zesty Ginger like the hair, .com. And we have kind of the flow there. You'll see the detox there. You'll recognize that. And then you'll see our Healthy Hormones group program. And then you'll see our Zesty You as our monthly membership. And that's a place where we do have a lot of coaches in there. We kind of do these coaching circles. Sometimes coaches come in and they take charge of those to practice. And that's just new content, new information, access to one-on-one sessions for people who need it.
I love that. And I just want to thank you, because it's just been an honor to watch you, but it's also been an honor to watch you despite baby coming. And I remember when you were pregnant, baby coming, and all of this, and you have other children as well, to know that it is possible, that you can have a business and you can take care of your family and you can automate your business and work on it, and don't give up until you get that clarity point. And I think that's what you really showed, is just start and don't give up even if 5 people. So, and that's clearly not what's happening in your world anymore.
Well, I want to just thank you, Rachel, because one, basically all the detox tools and things I share that people love, I learned from you. And then two, what I took was the way you ran your Facebook group for us coaches. And I said, I love everything about this. I love how responsive you are. I love how you just feel like supported all the time. And I took that format into what I do with clients. So I just want to thank you for being an amazing example, because that's what everybody says that they love about our groups, is that they feel like we're there for them, even though it's an online Facebook group.
Yeah, and I'll just even end with that, because that's such an important point, is that if you want to be a health coach in today's world, or any business owner, there has to be connection. And there has to, because then people want to come back, and then they want to refer people to you. And that's how your business grows. So thank you. Thank you. I will totally take that compliment. And guys, rewind, listen to everything Megan said, check out her site. And if you're struggling with hormones, which many women are, check out Megan's work, because she really is great. She can help guide you. And if you're looking at a done-for-you program, feel free to look at any different one. They can fit into your niche. So thank you so much. It's been a great honor, and I will see you very soon. Bye, guys. This is Rachel Feldman. I'm coming to you from www.yourhealthcoachbiz.com. See you later.